I was a roommate and teammate of Col Corey Simmons back in his days in Bellarmine. Nearly 2 years ago, a number of us sat in this very room and Corey was introduced by a 3-star Air Force general. But tonight, Corey, I'm sorry, it's just me, your old college roomie from Petrie College. So before we get into all the great accomplishments of your Air Force career, I want to focus on the Corey Simmons I knew during his time at Bellarmine. So the first time I met Corey, he was 19 years old, and he was in North Central Indiana, in Frankfort, Indiana, and he was doing what most 19-year-olds do on a Friday night. He was doing the color commentary for his beloved Meade County Green Wave in Frankfort, Indiana. And I knew right away that Corey was a guy who just made people feel welcome, and he had a big, magnetic personality. You know, I think he had a future in color commentating, but I'm sure the Air Force is glad that his career took a different path. So let's fast forward a little bit into his BU days. It became even clearer to me that Corey was a leader and he had never met a stranger. So a couple of my favorite Corey memories. First off, Bellarmine has a great basketball tradition. And Corey played with a number of accomplished scorers in his days, but I can assure you that no one has ever scored more points per minutes played than Corey Simmons. He was the original rifleman. You know, Chuck Persons, Chuck Connors, I don't care. Corey came into every game with guns a-blazing, and we loved every minute of it. Now, my second favorite story about Corey is he was a mathematics major. So he really put this to good use, counting dance steps on Wednesday nights back in the mid-90s to late 90s. So I don't know if any of you remember Coyotes from downtown Louisville, but I haven't known too many country line dancers in my days, but Corey Simmons will always be the gold standard in my mind. So in all seriousness, I witnessed firsthand the maximum effort that Corey puts into everything that he does. I recall his early morning runs for ROTC, his student teaching, coaching at PRP, and continually making his teammates and friends around him better. And of course, his greatest accomplishment of all, winning the heart of Fleming County's own Don Getz. So Corey, when I look at your Air Force accomplishments, I'm extremely proud. National Defense Fellowship at Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. 1,000 hours of combat flying. I mean, this one's just braggadocious. I feel bad even mentioning this, but he was part of the first air crew to land on Antarctica at night using night vision goggles. I mean, I will never even see Antarctica. It's crazy. Operating aircraft on all 7 continents and serving in more than 75 countries. Submitting budgets to Congress, leading 2,700 personnel as commander of the 71st Flying Training Wing Advanced Air Force Base, and numerous awards recognizing exemplary service. I know your family here in Kentucky and Air Force families spread around the globe are extremely proud of all that you have done in your continued service. So it's my pleasure to introduce BU basketball legend and par 3 legend, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, Col Corey Simmons.
All right, so I'm in the military and I'm a colonel, so most of the people in my room stand at attention when I talk. Just saying. Just saying. And for most of the stuff that he was talking about, I was drunk most of the time, so just saying. All right, so I know you guys will forgive me here. So it is actually possible to be an Air Force colonel and a pilot and need reading glasses. So it actually can happen. So good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and members of the Alumni Board. There's no way I deserve this. Fellow alumni, award winners, and most especially to our distinguished president, Susan Donovan. It's so great to finally meet you. You are a beacon for us. You uphold everything that we hold dear. And my flag that sits over my desk, you represent that. So, ladies and gentlemen, our president, Susan Donovan. Now, I know somebody's going to hold up some card and says I have to stay within 5 minutes, and I wrote 682 words, right, which, in case you're wondering, is 4.2 minutes. All right, but Dr. Wagner, I am sorry in advance, right? It's kind of intimidating to be a colonel after 20 years and doing lots of public speeches in front of Obama, in front of Trump, but Dr. Wagner, shit, I'm scared to death. It's crazy. Some thank yous, if you'll indulge me for just a second. So to my mom and dad, they're over here on the right, that's Daryl and Debbie Simmons. And I will get emotional at some point in this. So 25 years ago, when I turned down the Air Force Academy. I turned it down to come to Bellarmine. Well, let's be really clear, Dad was not happy about that. Free education, not free education, I'm just saying let's all do some math. But I can actually say, Dad, that after 25 years, Colonel Dr. Donovan has said that this Bellarmine education worked out. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. To my granddad in the far right corner, Randy Stiff. Most of us at some point probably lived in Petrie Call. 8 times he loaded up the F-350 dually truck to ensure that I got into Petrie Call. And his advice was really simple and really awesome. He dropped me off, loaded all the stuff upstairs, and gave me 50 bucks and said, "Don't suck." Worked out all right. It's pretty good advice. True. My aunt and uncles are here. Terry, Rick, Sherry, Lloyd, Nanette, Jerry, and Don. Those are my mom's brothers and brothers and their spouses. And I've been around this earth for 42 years. I've had countless of cool things happen to me, and they've been at every single one of them. And when I called them about this, they're like, "Shit, why not?" You know, so here they are again. So I've got 2 college roommates. I had no idea that Eric Wall was going to be the person introducing me. The guys see me naked more than anybody else, probably. So that's probably fitting. He was so great to see you. You and Susan, my wife and I, my wife Dawn, who some of you have had the opportunity to meet, we all met at the exact same time. We started dating at the same time. We got married within months of each other. Eric was in my wedding. I mean, all that kind of stuff starts at Bellarmine, which is pretty cool. My other college roommate, Danny Edlin, is sitting over there in the back, and his family is back there. And their whole family came. Papa E and Miss Linda, Miss Donna, Jenny and the boys. I mean, Papa E and Miss Donna, I ate more meals at your house than I did at my own for the 4 years that I was here. Right? So all of this awesomeness is your fault. But for the boys, I'll say, so Danny's got 2 sons. And if you ever want, like, no kidding, real dirt on your dad, don't ask your mom. That's my job. And I've got all that stuff. Right? So please see me. My in-laws are here. Billy and Patty Getz, and let's just be honest, the best thing that they did was send their daughter to Bellarmine, because that lady later became my wife. Because my Bellarmine story started just like Dr. Roberts at Pasture Hall. It's kind of funny how that shows up. I was in the 8 o'clock chemistry class with Dr. Holt, and I saw this beautiful blonde across the way, and I changed my major that moment. I went from math to pre-med, decided to stalk her to the 10 o'clock biology class, and then after I made it through that semester, summa cum barely, I changed my major again back to math. But she's not here, so why? Why should I be? I'm an Air Force officer, right? So if you want to meet the hero in a military family, go meet the spouse. All right, go meet the person who stays at home while that guy's on the road yet again. Right, so tonight she is assuming my position at the head of the table for a graduation of 17 Air Force pilots. She's also going to somehow make it to a high school basketball game to watch my 16-year-old do his thing, and we call that Friday. That sounds like a healthy graduation. I'm almost done. So the list of people that I would like to thank really quickly is hard to narrow down, but let me try real quickly. The names that should sound familiar to folks: James Spalding, Brian Turpak, John Spignardi. Those guys recruited me to play golf. Ewald talked about me being a basketball player. I actually came here to play golf. Dr. McGowan was the person that says, you know what? Maybe we could make the $40,000 federal grant work as your ROTC scholarship. Free $40,000? I'm pretty sure he was good with that, which is good. Dr. Alpelt and Dr. Fenton, right? I tried to quit math twice, maybe 3 times or 8 times, but I somehow got it. Sister Rose Howard allowed a jock basketball player to somehow pull off ROTC, student teaching, and playing basketball at the same time. Coach Valvano was the coach a long time ago who let me walk on and score, arguably, Ewald, the most glorious 35 points in the history of Bellarmine basketball. And then one of your most favorite sons, Ian Patrick, who at the time when we were in college was ancient at 23, was assistant coach and ensured that every day was special. So, but for me, Bellarmine at the end of the day it started my family. My wife and I are very, very proud, of Bellarmine, because without this, I wouldn't be this. I get to be a part of the greatest fighting force that ever assembled, the U.S. Air Force. And it all started for me here. 75 countries, 7 continents, 6 deployments. It's not an accident. So I'll leave you with what I tell the pilots that I get to graduate every 3 weeks. Some of our sons and daughters, America's finest. I'll leave you with exactly what I told them. And the funny part is that these 3 words started here. We are chosen to be here, right? Whether by God, by faith, by whatever, we're chosen to be, whatever moment we're in, we're chosen to be here. Now, if you live in Eden, Oklahoma, it's not my choice. But you're chosen to be there, right? While I was at Bellarmine, and while our guys are in Oklahoma, they are surrounded with the best people, the best infrastructure, the best monies, the best talent, the best culture to give them every single chance to succeed. But now they have to own it. And if we do our job and we surround them, then they will be empowered to kick ass and take names. That, ladies and gentlemen, I learned here at Bellarmine University. Thank you for letting me be a part of this.